So get the single.
Uh-huh. No, we're not going to do it.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Here we go.
She knew she was going to be in trouble when her mama showed up.
Get back there. Get back there. Ready? 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 Say jump, Mama. Jump. Good girl. I'm not going to make you drink that, Ray. Good girl. Wave at the camera.
No, let's go down some more. So here we are. So here we are, Pop. Start filming that thing. Look here. Look at your daddy. Whoops. Ramp. Getting in too deep of water. You're going to have to pull me out.
Come on, Gordon. You're 1 1/2.
You're going to have to pull Gramps out.
Sam Johnny in his bathing suit.
Oh, that's slick. That's slick on there. Take off. Get your feet. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. You gonna try to get out? Huh? You gonna get out? If she gets out, somebody needs to watch her. She's liable to slide down.
Okay. Just get in, go swimming. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to do it. Go swim.
Jessica. Hey, sweetie. What are you doing? Jessica. Jessie.
What? What's that supposed to be now? What's that supposed to be? Huh? You got water in your ear? I think she said play then.
What? You want me to do it?
Don't
Jessica.
make him do it.
I'm not.
Jessica.
I'm trying to go back.
What has she got in her mouth?
What you got in your mouth? Come here, let me see.
I don't think she put anything in her mouth.
What's my gun?
Let's see your mouth. Stick your tongue out.
That's good. That's fine.
Jessica. No, 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 no. No.
Smile in that camera. Be a ham.
The order burns Mama's eyes.
No.
That
Yeah.
thing, if it gets close to
Yeah.
water, it'll turn itself.
No, no, no. Watch her now.
Come on, Jess! Come on, Jess! Jump!
Little toot. Scared me to death. Takes off like that till I know she's gonna jump something. No, 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 no.
No,
No, no, no, no, no.
No. Dad, clap. No.
What is it?
Right. Just go over there and go swim. Don't run. All right, then what are you doing it for? Well, then don't do it. Why is he crying?
I think y'all ought to take him
What did you
fishing.
tell him? Jessica. What did you tell him? Jessica Lindsay. Oh, you got time for it. He's gonna take you later whether you dress or not. Come here, Jess. Come here, Jess. Stop to me.
Don't let her fall.
Danny's right there. Stand right. Come here, Jess. Okay, here we go. Come here, Jess. No, he don't want to. We gotta go to Ray. She's like, hi, Ray. Hi, Ray. Come here. Come here, get the water with me. Hi. Yeah, give him a hug. Give him a hug. He's so sad.
Hi.
Who cares about fishing?
Let's go swim. I don't want to go more back. Let's go.
The doctor's going to take him fishing now if he jumps off.
Danny Ray's crying and Jess is trying to console him.
saying to that thing. Come here, Dan. Hi, you go get in the cabinet, you're gonna cry. There's nothing to hide. He's getting you on film. You know that? What do you think you're doing? Huh? What do you think you're doing? I'm gonna spank you. I'm gonna spank you. I'm gonna spank you. Here, get a close up of her face. I'll spank you. What? What? I'm gonna spank you. You want to spank you?
No. Tell her no. Say no, no. No, no.
What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? Huh?
No, no.
No, no. No, no. Come here. This is easy. Come here. Huh? It's like you have hands. Daddy? Where's Daddy? Where's Daddy? Oh, look at this. Wow. Now this is don't think these things are done, but you don't want to go off those things. Don't come over there. You can get the tag. Or you go swim. Or you go sit. I'm gonna ask you. Oh, yeah. What's this? We see you can do that off the diamond more than that won't hurt. Oh, quit crying. Somebody can cry. You are too. Where are you going?
It's wet over here, yeah, you're gonna slip and fall.
What are you gonna do? No, you're not. You're not gonna do that?
No.
No, say no, Ray.
I would be too.
You won't do that, Ray. What are you crying about? I want you to come here and talk to me. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
Look what it calls it.
Three.
You're right here. Are they wet? Are you ready? I wonder if you give me both hands. 1, 2, and 3.
Hey, somebody go get her. She's not gonna
You get down there. Get down there. That was good.
What's that?
Huh?
That hurt?
Yeah, but...
Come, Danny, come here. Here comes Danny. You're in trouble. Cheryl?
Sure, you better not try that
That
again, boy.
was
You almost
too
missed the whole work.
You don't want to do that.
She'll almost kill herself on the diving board.
That was in the number.
Yeah.
You can't do it without drugs. Get right here. Get right here. All right, now scoot out here. You ready? What? No, scoot out more. You're not too close to the side. No, scoot out first. You're too close to the side. All right, give me your other hand. Now, I want your other hand. Ready? Now go that way. Okay, one. He did it. He did it. What is the matter? Go over there, sir. Very close. That's what I can't figure out. Now go to the shower. Will you stand up then? Stand up? Okay. You're getting better. Look, what I'm going to do?
They got you under the thumb.
Ready? All right. Oh, I got
You want to bet?
But you got too close to the side. What you doing? In here?
Yeah.
Ready?
Are you filming?
Just fix my bed.
Are you filming her?
Right here on side fix.
Garden, you found them? Yeah,
Ready? That's my bed. Look at the camera. Oh, my shoulder was in.
With your foot?
Okay,
Now don't do anything excited with your granny. Goodness.
You may go to bed.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Let's swim. Come on. Swim. Howard, you got beer last night. Today you're going to get tea. You ain't even got that thing on.
.21, laying it on the Cleveland Browns. 35-27, Cincinnati over Houston. Everybody beats up on Eddie Biles' team. The Jets, perhaps looking toward the playoffs, lose 37-13. First and 10, call it the 40, the toss. Good aggressive defensive play, and Ring gets out to the 40, almost 45-yard line. Mike Riley making the tackle there. Cody Jones almost had him for a loss.
Double tied in that time by the 49ers. Ring was the ball carrier. Russ Francis and Charlie Young both in the game. They tossed to the left side. That was where Francis was. He blocked down, but the young linebacker again, Howard Carson, was blitzing, and he got some penetration. But good effort by Ring. Picked up about 3 yards on it, 4 maybe.
Makes a big difference when the offense can run the football a little bit, and the 49ers, as we said, are the worst rushing team in the National Football League, but not right now. Second down 5, Montana. He's going in the flat. There's Ring. Ring over midfield into Ram territory to the 47-yard line. Pat Thomas coming up a little late, and nobody was there.
No, it was double wing, same formation as before. One remaining back, 2 tight ends, and once again, that's just a mistake, Brookie, and more than likely it's the outside linebacker, the middle linebacker on the left side. Watch Ring, number 30, the only back in the backfield. He filters out in the flat. Number 54, the middle linebacker, Carson, starts to go now, but he's a little bit late getting out there.
Well done. 49ers now moving. Another first down. Nehemiah, Skeets Nehemiah. The fast one is in. Number 83, that's him in motion. Montana going across the middle for Clark. Knocked away on a great diving play.
That was Riley.
That was Riley making a stab as the ball was settling into Clark's hands.
He was a defensive end at Oklahoma, a stand-up defensive end, but that's basically the same as an outside linebacker up here, and they like him. They think he's going to be a good player in a couple of years, but it's just a tough situation for him right now. Stepping in and playing against a team like the 49ers as a rookie without much game experience.
He's not real fast, but some of the greatest linebackers I've ever known are not the fastest. I'm standing next to one that was a darn great linebacker that wasn't the fastest. Second down and 10. Nehemiah's out. The draw play. Bouncing outside is Jeff Moore. Moore took back inside. He's in the open end. Pulled down now at the 34-yard line by Pat Thomas. Some run.
I think, Tommy, more than anything, as you look at Jeff Moore, when we looked at tapes and films of the past 3 or 4 Rams games, we noticed they're just not tackling as good as they have been in the past. Now this starts out right here. Fanning gets penetration on Cross, kind of fouls the play up right there, but there's an arm tackle right there by Andrews.
Wow.
Another missed tackle there by Johnson. Thomas is reaching out with one hand, and they're just not putting the shoulder and hitting people.
Moore with a 13-yard pickup. The numbers on him, straight ahead. Bill Ring this time is met by Fanning and Cody Jones. The Ram down 4 are big, rough, but not the quickest defensive lineman perhaps around.
You know, poor tackling is contagious. It's almost like a flu epidemic. One guy misses a tackle, it seems like the guy next to you will, and it's like passing the baton.
You can't take anything for it either. Second down and 8. Cooper is the remaining back. Montana with a lot of time. He could run for it, decides to throw for it. To the 22. I believe it's Charlie Young under there.
That's who it is.
He's become quite a target. He and Francis both have 21 catches. There's Charlie Young. Started out with the Eagles, then went to the Rams in an exchange. Jaworski for Charlie Young. I've always liked him. I always thought he gave you 120%.
Well, he's a positive influence on this team, and in particular last year in their Super Bowl year. He really was. He was a leader. He talks very maturely to the young guys in the locker room and at practice, and they listen to him.
The flag was down. Let's see what the call is.
Holding, 71 offense, second down.
That's Farnhurst, the big offensive right tackle, who Bill Walsh said should be in the Pro Bowl.
And he's working against a tough guy that he's probably going to have to hold a couple times today, Jack Youngblood over there. They've had some battles in the 9 years that Farnhurst has been in the league.
Looks like an Apache stranglehold they put on one another. It's second down and 18. The screen pass, Montana to Moore. Oh, good defensive play by Thomas. Pat Thomas comes up and stops Moore just after he took the ball at the 44-yard line. A real good tackle. There is some real quality in that secondary. Cromwell, Thomas, Perry.
Screen right here.
And of course,
Montana,
Johnny Johnson.
pretty short drop for a screen. Usually drop a little bit deeper in it. Gets it out to Moore and watch number 27 come in before Cross can make the block on him. Make an excellent defensive play.
Ivory Sully is in there now. The Rams are having to play a lot of nickel and dime defenses because of the linebacking shortage. Third down and 20. 7-7 tie. The blitz is on. Montana. Oh, overthrows Charlie Young. Young had one shot at it with those giant hands, but Sully was there.
Ivory Sully, number 37, who came in on the nickel defense. In good shape that time on Charlie Young, and he's given away about 8 inches to Young.
D.C. Dwight Clark hasn't caught a pass yet, has he?
Well, he hasn't. Brookie, he came into this game with a very sore knee that he got last week on the turf in Kansas City, and it was swollen up all week. He didn't practice much.
Miller now with his punting foot encased in a shoe, kicks it away from Leroy Irvin. Might have bitten off too much of the dog leg. Let's see where they're going to move it out. About the 20-yard line. Miller didn't have any problems punting until he put the shoe on. Wonder why a kicker would do that.
Well, his coach Milt Jackson felt that he wasn't getting enough spiral on the ball. He couldn't get the nose to turn over, and felt that if he kicked with a shoe, there'd be more contact on the ball, and it would help him out. And that still remains to be seen.
I'll take your word for it.
We are USA 1, and proving it in Chevy Cavalier with more power from a new high-compression 2-liter engine with electronic fuel injection. Cavalier has it. Accord doesn't. Corolla doesn't. Sentra doesn't. Cavalier has new lower prices for '83, plus a full line of models, including one the leading imports don't even offer. Chevy Cavalier, from America's sales leader, USA 1, is taking charge. Now get 11.9% financing at participating Chevrolet dealers.
Used to good friends. Tonight is kind of special.
Congratulations, you coached a pretty mean game.
Well, I had a pretty good teacher.
Did it teach you the part about the winning coach buying the Lowenbrow?
You got it.
Give me 10 minutes. I gotta go yell at my players.
When you want the taste of a truly great beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
So tell me, what'd you say to your teacher?
Told him we were out coached.
Let it be Lowenbrow.
Some good news. Barry Redden, the young man from the Rams, the Richmond grad, has recovered, at least gained consciousness in the dressing room, we're told, and is resting comfortably, and it's a mild concussion, and darn, that's fun to tell people once in a while.
That's the best news of the day. The most important thing in these games, 45 guys go out and 45 guys come back.
All right. Barry Redden, you're doing all right. We're happy. It's 2:49 left in the first period of 7-all tie. Hand off to Wendell Tyler behind Harris' block. Tyler weaves to the 25. Jack Reynolds makes a second tackle. That's Ram against Ram. They used to see each other in dummy scrimmage every day, right? When he was with Los Angeles.
But I don't think he really has the advantage with him that he had last year, because there's new assistant coaches, new offensive coordinator, and he doesn't know the Rams system as well as he did a year ago.
That's right. John Hadel came in, take over the offense, and here's the man running it. Got George Farmer and Denard. Both receivers are in. Ferragamo, the quarterback. Motion by Barber. Toss back to the weak side. Gooman picks out a hole and gets out over the 30. It might be enough for a first. It'll be close. Bob Horn nailed him there. Gooman is Mr. Steady. Nothing too flamboyant. Well coached, disciplined, doesn't fumble.
Tough and steady, doesn't make any mistakes. Seems like a lot of those Penn Staters are like that. Pretty solid when they come out of that school.
Well, they have to go to school or Paterno will beat on them with a broom.
Exactly.
And of course, Cullen Bryant was a great fullback for years with the Rams and has since left, was released. It's his third and inches. A 7-7 tie, and the ball is, call it the 30-yard line. Gooman and Tyler. Gooman, first down Rams.
You're sure?
Kugler was underneath. That's Nittany Lion against Nittany Lion. They're moving the chains now. Boy, it turned out to be a beautiful day. Early this morning, it was sort of rainy looking, and you thought, gosh, well, it's not going to sell any real estate in the Bay Area, but it's beautiful now, isn't it?
That's what they call an Oregon mist. It missed Oregon and got it here.
Tom Brookshire with Wayne Walker. Closing seconds of the first quarter, and we got a 7-7 tie. Ferragamo, bean rush, dumps it off to Tyler at the 30. Tyler stumbles, picks up about 4 yards to the 34-yard line. Don't let Wendell Tyler get loose in your secondary. He can make people miss just by walking by.
34 catches coming into this game for 3 touchdowns. Ronnie, they're still talking about the 49ers are about the great catch he made against them in a game down in Anaheim, the first game of the year. They said they've replayed that thing about 20 times and still don't understand how Tyler made the catch. He did about a 360 in midair. He's a great athlete, getting better and better running his patterns coming out of the backfield. He's a real threat.
Ronnie Lott said it changed his whole season. Got him thinking about it, huh? There's the gun. We're through with the first quarter. We got 45 minutes at least left. It's 7-7.
We are USA 1, taking charge with tough, easy-to-own transportation like Chevy Chevette. While Ford's base Escort suggested retail price went up, the lowest price Chevy Chevette held the line. In fact, this two-door Chevette is priced over $600 less than Escort L two-door. And Chevette has millions more owner-driven miles behind it. Chevy Chevette, from America's sales leader. Now, get 11.9% financing at participating Chevrolet dealers.
Some people can afford to make mistakes. You can't. So you became the best you could be, a professional. And now, no matter what your profession, there's a personal computer made just for you. Introducing the Professional, the new personal computer for professionals from Digital. With professional graphics of incredible clarity and accuracy. Professional communications that let you talk to other computers in your office or out. And since you have to do more than one job at a time, so can the Professional. And it's all easy to learn and simple to use. Not even the biggest computer company in the world gives you so much. But the second biggest does. The Professional. The personal computer has just lost its amateur standing. Digital Equipment Corporation. Computers for professionals, from professionals.
General manager and coach of the 49ers in 3 years. From 2 wins to 6 wins to the Super Bowl. He's in year number 4. I think the clue might be that general manager on top. He controls his own destiny all the time. Very important these days. Second down and 7. The Rams with the ball on their own 33-yard line. The screen pass out the flat. Gooman. Good block by Pansy on the outside. Gooman into San Francisco territory to the 45. 21-yard screen reception by Mike Gooman.
Number 47 is Tim Collier right here, the cornerback. Now he'll be the man that'll come up and try to play the screen, but Kent Hill, number 72, the big guard, will come and level him. He'll perhaps, well, I guess you could call him maybe the fastest offensive lineman in the league. The Rams think so anyway. He got out there and made the block on the cornerback that sprung Gooman.
Good-looking offensive play. The Rams now move the ball much better than the 49ers. They still got a 7-7 tie. Tyler. Whoa, Tyler wrapped up at the 46 and dropped there.
Boy, was that big penetration by Stover, number 72, the youngster we talked about before. The track man from Oregon. Now, they knew at the start of the year, Tom, that this guy would be a good pass rusher because when they lined him up in training camp, he just had natural techniques, great pass rush techniques. They thought it would take him a long time to learn how to play the run because that's just a matter of looking at different sets and learning how to read trap blocks and things like that. He wouldn't be in there if there weren't for a lot of injuries on the 49ers.
All right, but he's doing very well right now. Dean is in the game, the pass rusher. Here's Ferragamo. He's got time. Ferragamo, almost picked off by Ronnie Lott. Intended for Preston Denard.
And he may have been gone. There was a lot of open field in front of Ronnie Lott, and Lott can bring it. He's had 11 interceptions in his 2-year career as a pro, and he's returned 5 of them for touchdowns.
My gosh.
Fred Dean got a little penetration right here that might have affected Ferragamo's throw. He's over at the right of the screen. He gets a hand up, and Ferragamo has to go over the top. And I believe that's why he overthrew the receiver. And you saw a lot right there. He'd like to have that one back.
He talked the other day, Ronnie Lott did, about confidence. I mean, we always thought everybody's so confident. And he said he got down on himself because he wasn't doing the job the way he wanted to do it. He did it then. 3rd down and 10. Ferragamo. Oh. Number 24 had a chance to intercept it had he just looked around. Gervais, number 24, if he looked around, he could have walked away with the interception. Willie Miller was the intended receiver.
Triple receivers to the right-hand side this time. Remember when you used to be in this league, Tom, and you were a strong safety and you'd only had to cover the tight end? They bring the wide receivers now in on 3rd down and just try to isolate up single coverage on the strong safety. That was Carlton Williams, number 27 there.
A good defensive stand by the 49ers. And Misko's punting from the 45. That's Ring at the 10-yard line with a fair catch. Smart move so that ball doesn't dribble inside the 5. A 7-7 tie. A 93-yard punt return by McLemore. And a touchdown by Wendell Tyler.
Here's to good friends.
Hey, chicken and ribs? Chicken and ribs. Jack. Steak?
Let's say something more somehow.
Chili. Homemade chili. Good work.
Hey, wait a minute.
What did you bring besides your lids? Just a little something I threw together.
I should have known.
When you want the taste of a truly great beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
Okay, everybody, let's go win this one.
Now, Old Spice gives you two-fisted protection with original Old Spice deodorant and now new super dry antiperspirant. Both have that famous Old Spice scent. So what's the difference? Old Spice deodorant helps knock out odor. And now new Old Spice antiperspirant fights odor while it helps wipe out wetness. And they both work overtime. Old Spice, one name that gives you two-fisted protection.
Back in San Francisco. 7-7. Long punt return, 93 yards, the second longest in San Francisco history. By young McLemore, the man from Hawaii. The passing yardage, look at Sanford, look at Montana's numbers. Only 2 completions. Handoff to Jeff Moore, outside. Moore gets there. And suddenly a rushing game. Thomas and Andrews combining there to stop him. Here's Dana McLemore's run back of that punt. Misko's kick.
McLemore, of course, the rookie from Hawaii. We told you that earlier. He was a 10th round draft choice, and he was a specialist, and this is why they wanted him. He gets to the outside. Now, Ronnie Lott, number 42, is going to convoy him all the way down the sideline. number 90, Mike Clark, but Lott will get a little push block right down at the end that helped out.
Jeff Moore getting another call and almost a San Francisco first down. The rushing game, not exactly a Bill Walsh trademark.
But you remember at the end of the year last year when things were going good for the 49ers, they had a running game. That great drive against Dallas in the NFC Championship game last year, the bulk of it came on the ground.
When they needed it, they used it. Russ Francis, the big tight end at the right side. Charlie Young, the tight end at the left side. Nehemiah's outflanked. Inside, Ring on the first down call. Billy Ring bangs out for 4 or 5 yards. Mike Fanning tripping him up. He's sort of a local fella, isn't he? Bill Ring went to BYU for his undergraduate work. Really a nice, serious young man, isn't he?
He's a real nice kid. He is from the Bay Area here. He was cut by the Pittsburgh Steelers, but he just idolized Rocky Blyer. He said Blyer kind of took him under his wing and helped him out and told him not to give up, that he could play in this league, and he went home and worked out, and here he is.
It's a good guy to listen to. He's smart right there. Second down and 4. Montana going for Charlie Young and overthrowing. Charlie Young was open at the 42-yard line of Los Angeles. Johnny Johnson trailing him there. Montana's either mad at himself or...
Yeah, he's a little bit mad at himself. He overthrew that ball. He is not real sharp out here yet this afternoon, but he can be streaky, and he's the kind of kid that that'll forget about a bad start, forget about an interception, and pick it on up and really burn you. Ferragamo did the same thing last week. You know, one time last week against the Bears in his 500-yard day, he was 1 for 7 for 14 yards and 2 interceptions.
Joe Montana, who always has a sore elbow, even last year when he took them all the way. He's back to throw. Montana moving. Oh, good throw to Clark. Clark makes his first catch and struggles. The flags are down as he gets to the 45-yard line. Pat Thomas made a tackle, and I believe they're going to get an unsportsmanlike call in Los Angeles. Tempers flare. Get in there, Tom Dooley, and hold them apart. DC draws a crowd, doesn't he?
Well, especially after the last 3 years he's had. You know, projected out this season, if it would have been a 16-game season, number 87 right there would have caught over 100 passes. So he's drawing a crowd. Incredible. When he plays now.
He's averaging over 100 yards a game, which is phenomenal. And everybody says, well, he's not big and he's not strong, he's not fast. But you look at him, he's what, 6'3", about 210, 212?
He's about 215, I think. And looks almost bigger than that. I would say he's a good 6'4", too, Brookie. Now, what happens, you see, there's a lot of, he gets in a lot of hassles with the defensive backs, and that's because he and Solomon are exceptional blockers downfield, and defensive backs don't like people rolling up their legs.
Unnecessary roughness, 47 defense, first down.
That was on Leroy Irvin.
Okay.
Now,
must have been working against the nickel again, eh?
It happened a little bit before that you saw right there. What you saw was Mike Wilson come back and get Irvin, kind of pay him back and get him out Clark.
Big catch and flag. 1st and 10 for San Francisco. They're trying to get it cooking. Montana keeps the backs in, and the blitz is on. They beat the blitz. Rod Perry makes the tackle. Mike Wilson makes the catch, and the blitz came, and Montana is adjusting his hat, but it looks like he made it. There's a flag back almost at midfield. There's Mike Wilson, former Dallas Cowboy.
He's kind of a cross between Dwight Clark and Fred Solomon, Tom. He's got the size of Clark. He's 6'3", about 210, and the speed of Solomon. I think he's going to be a factor.
Mike leaving the field now as Tom Dooley's crew is going to mark off the penalty against San Francisco. Let's see if we haven't received the official thing yet. Dooley, do your stuff. Offsetting.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer, number 20. Holding. 27 offense.
So they'll play it again. Johnny Johnson did blitz and hit Montana a little bit late. And I'm not sure who they got for holding. It must have been Jeff Moore that was setting up the block.
I thought he said 27 or 47. I don't think there's anybody out on the field for the 49ers with those two numbers on.
Offsetting penalty. Now they're going to try to get this arbitrated. Montana's asking for a clarification from his own bench. Jack Youngblood pleading the case for the defense.
Safety blitz by the Rams. Two inside linebackers are coming. Johnson comes from the outside. He'll get in here a little bit late, and there's the hit on Montana. Now what's happened?
Well, they're going to mark it off against the Rams.
Personal foul, 20 offense.
20 offense.
Well, he's a little confused.
He's marked it off the wrong way. The only 20 we have is famous Amos Lawrence. And Malavesa said he doesn't play for me, and we have our defense on the field. That's quite a drive for San Francisco. It's on Johnson, Johnny Johnson. A pretty close call, though. I thought he was within his rights. 1st and 10. Ring off the right side. Not a lot. Maybe a couple.
They call it on number 20, Johnny Johnson. He'll be at the right of your screen on this. He comes in and he gets the late hit on Montana. All out blitz by the Rams. Here comes Johnson on the safety blitz from the right-hand side. Number 20 showing up right now. They called it late. The reception was made, and they tacked the penalty onto that.
2nd down and 7. There he is, the number 1 draft out of Texas a couple of years ago. Montana, 2-step drop. Touchdown for Mike Wilson. First touchdown reception of the year for young Mike Wilson, and he ran right over a Ram to get it.
Told you about his size and that he would be a factor. And he showed you why.
Ray Wersing now. The man from Austria. Montana holding. Break the tie. Broke it to smithereens. San Francisco 14. Los Angeles 7.
Here's the touchdown pass. Montana now good protection up front. Wilson working against Johnny Johnson, the safety. Johnson will make the tackle right here. Looks like he has him, and Wilson runs right through it. Number 85.
The 16th touchdown pass by Joe Montana. Wilson's first touchdown catch. 10:44 left before halftime. It's 14-7.
Did you know that there is an inexpensive, fuel-efficient car engineered in Germany that is so fast, so sure-footed, and possessing such remarkable brakes that you could very well look forward to seeing these signs as long as you own this one, the Volkswagen Rabbit. It expects the unexpected.
Was Gillette foamy, thick, and rich enough to restrain a rushing roller coaster? No. So we improved foamy. We made it even thicker and richer. So now is new improved foamy thick enough and rich enough?
No. But if you thought your foamy gave you clean, close shaves, just wait till you see how much thicker and richer new improved foamy is.
New improved foamy. We made it even thicker and richer.
January 15th on CBS Sports, Heisman runner-up John Elway, coached by his father against Illinois' Tony Eason in the East-West Shrine game here on CBS Sports.
Don't forget, at the East-West game here on CBS, January the 15th. And I'm not going to miss it because I want to see John Elway, the great Stanford QB. And they tell me Tony Eason from the Illini, Illinois, is almost as good maybe as Elway. Right here on the 15th of January, the East-West Shrine game. All right, Wergene's going to kick off. We'll try to give you the run-back people's viewpoint of this. Drew Hill's waiting for it now. The fastest Ram will take it at the 3-yard line. The 20 to the 26. Wergene getting a pretty good deep kick as Milt McCall makes the tackle.
Tom, out at a 49er practice the other day, you were watching Joe Montana and his passing drills, and you were really impressed with his arm. Not only how hard he could throw it, how far he could throw it. Here's one where he really zinged it in to Mike Wilson. No touch right there. That thing was in on a wire.
You know, I like the fact that he could take it off then on a corner pattern and throw a real good sharp pass, but hang it just a little bit. I think Joey Montana moves in the pocket about as well as anybody, and Ferragamo has shown me a lot the last 2 or 3 weeks. Ferragamo with the reverse handoff now. That's George Farmer, the rookie from Southern. Gets out over the 30-yard line, and the flags are down. Williamson sticking the run-back man Farmer. Farmer had 100 yards plus last week in catches, didn't he, against Chicago? Pretty good rookie effort.
Farmer had 9 catches for 183 yards.
It's against the offensive line. I saw Dennis Harrah protesting.
So if it was on Harrah, he may have a reason to protest. I thought he threw a pretty good block out here on Willie Harper.
Yeah, Herky Harrah is a pretty good hunk of offensive guard when he pulls, too, isn't he? Looks like a building being moved.
Illegal use of hands. Number 60 offense. First down.
Dennis Harrah with his hands out too far on that block. See what you think. He'll be pulling. He's the guard coming right now, number 60. Number 59, Willie Harper, will show up. Watch what Harrah does.
It's a good-looking block. You're right, though. He looks more like a condominium than a whole building. It's first down and 20. Ferragamo for Denard. Denard makes the catch on a comeback pattern, a deep sideline, closely covered by Tim Collier. What a nice pattern.
The comeback pattern 15 years ago used to be perhaps the most favorite pattern in the National Football League. We've got a flag down, and it looks like it might be against the Rams.
When you've got a 1-7 record, you begin to think, my gosh, everything goes wrong that can go wrong. The old Hoyle's Law.
That's right. They just got one before on Dennis Harrah that looked like it was a judgment call, and one right here that is just drive killers. And he had gray hair before the season started, but under there somewhere, he's probably got a few more.
Holding 75 offense. First down.
5 penalties already for the Rams in this game.
Irv Pankey, the big Penn Stater they called.
He's number 75, and he's working against 72 Stover right there. That's a takedown.
Got the arm up on the backside of the number. George Farmer Denard in on first down and 28. Ferragamo throwing from the end zone. He's got Gerald Thomas. Thomas gets out to the 10. Good-looking tackle over there.
Carlton Williamson, I believe.
And Ferraria.
Williamson, the strong safety, did not even suit up last week. And he's had perhaps the best year of anybody in his 49er secondary. And without question, and although there's a lot of Ronnie Lott fans that'll argue with this, it might be the best hitter. I say might be because you don't get many better hits than Lott does.
That's true. At the safety spot, though, Williamson is rather large, too. He's got good size and height. They missed him, I guess, when he was hurt. Here it is, second down and 27. Thomas storms up inside. He is built like a fire plug, and the only 2 times he's ever started games for the Rams, he had 140 yards plus in each game. And I just keep wondering why they don't play the fellow more. He's built like a truck.
A lot of people wondering that. People will, of course, remember Robert Newhouse and the Dallas Cowboys, and this guy's built just like him. Really tough, got big thighs, Thick-waisted, tough to get your arms around, and he runs through tackles.
5'10", 228. Denard in motion. Ferragamo with a lot of time to throw it. Finds Gooman. Gooman is taken back to the 24-yard line. Ronnie Lott. Now we've got a slight fiasco out of the 15-yard line. About 2 linemen apiece, it looks like. Kent Hill and Bob Horn, etc., etc., etc.
And a lot of people wondered whether the Rams would come to play this afternoon. I think all this is answering that. They came to play. They'd like to help that guy out.
John Misko is back to punt again. A little breeze to his back. You're right off the left hip of the kicker. Down on the field. McLemore is back. Here's Misko's go. This is a tremendous kick. McLemore into the sun. Takes it at the 26. Makes a couple of people miss. Gets to the 35. Ron Battle down under that punt. A good kick. A good kick by Misko. A good return by dangerous McLemore. 8:16 left before half. It's 14-7 San Francisco.
This place is real special. We wouldn't trade one of our days up here for anything, except maybe for one of our nights.
Welcome to Miller Time. It's all yours, and it's all mine. Bring your thirsty self right here. You've got the time, we've got the beer for what you have in mind. Welcome to Miller Time.
The best beer for the best time of the day. Miller High Life.
Bring your thirsty self right here. You've got the time, we've got the beer for what you have in mind. Oh, welcome. You know you're welcome. Welcome. Everybody's welcome. Welcome to Miller Time. Yours and mine.
Okay. Yes, it's been a crazy year. This team, that familiar red and white striped San Francisco jersey, they went to Detroit on CBS, took the Super Bowl, and look at this. They're 0-4 at home, 3-1 on the road. It has been very hard to figure out or try to chart this season.
It bodes well for them if they get in the playoffs, because they're going to have to play all those games on the road if they do.
Yeah, that's right. Washington and Dallas have that home field stuff all tied up. First down and 10. Nehemiah, Skeets Nehemiah's in the game. Montana has a lot of time. Oh, what a nice flip to Russ Francis. Francis to the 43-yard line. .23-yard. What a touch by Montana.
Here he is, Russ Francis. Had 7 catches last week, and his best performance as a 49er, running across under the linebackers, angles it out a little. Nehemiah had taken about 2 Ram defensive backs with him. He was deep. There you see number 57, Mike Riley, show up a little bit late to make the tackle on the sideline.
I'm always surprised when I walk up next to Russ Francis. He's built like a small man, but he's 6'6". Tremendous size, tremendous ability, and when he doesn't retire from pro football, he can really play.
Somebody down on the field right now. You can't tell who it is. It's a Los Angeles Rams player.
Might be Rod Perry.
That's who it is.
My young cornerback from Colorado that's played so well for Los Angeles for the whole career. Now he's up. Can jump out of the ballpark, too. What a great athlete, number 49. He took on Francis and looked like he might have hit that thigh guard of the big fellas. Good time to finish is on the road when you're 1-7. There's Leroy Irvin, and the great punt returner can also play the secondary. He's got Nehemiah right now. That's a fast job. 1st and 10. The fake blitz. Oh, good defensive play. That's Riley. Mike Riley made a real good defensive play. Ring might have lost a foot, huh?
Well, the rookie played off the block, stepped in. We told you he was a defensive end at Oklahoma, playing linebacker up here. They'd like to give him another year or two of seasoning before he plays a lot, but because of all those injuries, there he is and doing a pretty good job.
Against a very tough offense to try to figure out. Second down and 10. Cooper's in the backfield. Montana scrambling, pulled down by Jack Youngblood, and still throws it away, and they're going to get him for illegal grounding. Nehemiah was way down the field, had no chance to catch it. Youngblood makes some play.
I don't know whether you think they're getting for grounding Brookie, or they just call it in the grasp of the defensive end, Youngblood, number 85. We'll see. He did throw it. Youngblood had a hold of him, and they may call it a sack and down it right there.
If it's illegal grounding, it's loss of down and whatever might have happened on it. Dooley's going to be the man that's going to make this call. Listen, they've got a lot of rules to discuss. Don't be impatient with these people, the Zebras. Now they're going to get some help from Jack Youngblood. You know he's not biased.
No, he'll say, I want the sack. Let me have the sack.
Intentional grounding, 16 offense, loss of down, third down.
You got it. This is from behind Montana now. That was a quick one.
Sometimes they try to measure intention, and it's very hard to do, especially when a person's a fast thinker like Joe Montana. All right, third down. And 21 yards to go. Being chased, Montana has got an open receiver. A great catch by Clark. It's going to be enough, I believe, for the first down. Some catch.
Clark with another reception. Watch him isolated here on this one now. He just keeps running. He finds the open spots. He said that his coach in college, Danny Ford, perhaps helped him more than anybody when he came up here to the 49ers. He said, Daly, you're a low draft choice. You don't have a lot of speed. Never stop running. Show him your stamina, and perhaps if you don't make it as a wide receiver, you'll make it on special teams. He's done okay at wide receiver.
Some catch. 42% of all Joe Montana's third down completions have gone to number 87. He caught 85 in 1980, 82 last year.
I think just the other way around, Brookie. He caught 80 both years and more last year than he did the year before.
Fantastic. First and 10. A big catch by Clark. Straight inside handoff to Ring, inside the 30 to perhaps the 28-yard line. That big offensive guard, the Pro Bowler, Cross, of course, he injured himself in the off-season at an amusement park on a charity affair, right?
Well, he was running an obstacle course for charity against some people, and that's John Ayers, the other guard right now, who's down on the turf. San Francisco has been hit with a ton of injuries all year long. They've had him in the offensive line. They've had him in their defensive secondary. And it's bothered him. Ayers right there, an exceptional football player. He had a great year last year on the march to the Super Bowl. In the playoff games, he had a sensational game against Danny White, or rather Randy White.
Well, what was it Cross said to you? I mean, we think Cross is a great one. Cross said Ayers is probably better than I am. Something to that effect?
Well, when he got selected to the Pro Bowl this year, Randy Cross said, you know, this year I'm the second best guard on this team. Ayers is just to the right of Montana, number 68. He's coming out on the linebacker now. Howard Carson, number 54. Let's see what happens. He's just down on the pile and a whole bunch of people on top of him. Doesn't get anything in the head, so obviously it's a lower extremity injury right now that's bothering number 68, John Ayers.
Looked like one of the Rams maybe came across his legs being blocked, you know, when he was out of control. We're not yet at halftime. It's a 14-7 ball game. The bodies are flying. Don't go away.
The German engineers who built the Volkswagen Scirocco were obsessed with aerodynamics and passionate about precision. They also look forward to a pleasant Sunday drive.
Ausgezeichnet. Hm? Ausgezeichnet.
Compare dandruff shampoos. There's good, there's better, and then there's Blue. Selsun Blue, the best dandruff shampoo money can buy. Clinical testing among leading brands proved it works best with more complete dandruff control. Selsun Blue is the only leading brand with the anti-dandruff ingredient doctors recommend most. Remember, there's good, there's better, and there's Blue. Selsun Blue. It simply works the best.
Next Saturday and Sunday on CBS Sports, postseason action as they battle for the NFC crown and a spot in the Super Bowl. Great regional action next weekend on CBS Sports.
John Ayers is having the left knee looked at, but he did walk off rather easily on, somewhat helped, but under his own power for the most part. So the big fella's being replaced by Walt Downing, the 270-pounder from Michigan. But it looks like John Ayers is not seriously injured. They're checking to make sure those knees don't wobble too much. Second down and 7. Montana, the blitz is on. Montana loads up, going for Nehemiah, and Skeets catches it for a touchdown. It's his first touchdown for Skeets Nehemiah, the world's greatest hurdler. The first touchdown, his 8th catch. He did tryouts all over the country, and the 49ers, especially Bill Walsh, said, let's give him the bonus money and see if he can play. He can. Wershing misses the extra point, but the crowd is still high because of Skeets Nehemiah. 12.93 for the 110-meter high hurdles.
You knew he had speed. Watch his concentration right here now. Pat Thomas gets a hand on the ball, and Nehemiah stays with it for the 6 points. The reaction by Montana. I love quarterbacks that show a little emotion after they throw.
Hard to compensate for that kind of speed, isn't it? 20-7.
Welcome to Miller time. It's all yours, and it's all mine. Bring your thirsty self right here. You've got the time, we've got the beer for what you have in mind. Welcome to Miller time, yours and mine.
The best beer for the best time of the day. Miller High Life.
I refinished this beautiful piece all by myself, and I can't even change a light bulb.
A pro wanted $300 to refinish this. I did it myself for $15.
Formby's furniture refinisher can make a believer out of you because it works unlike anything you've ever seen. It dissolves old varnish lacquer or shellac without stripping, sanding, or scraping. With my furniture refinisher, it's a pleasure to create a treasure.
Homer Formby. No one knows wood as good.
Many stores now have special values on my furniture refinisher.
You're looking at Skeets Nehemiah, his first touchdown. He doesn't know a lot of football yet. Boy, can he run. Wershing kicking off. And Drew Hill, a very dangerous return man. This is good high kick by Wershing. A little short, but it's at the 5. That's Hill. Drew Hill. He's got good blocking. Good return. The flags are down. Drew Hill gets to the 34-yard line. The flags are thrown around the 28. Leopold making the stop there. Tom Dooley. Illegal block. Boy, you see that a lot. I don't know why they don't change the rules so it's not illegal all the time if they're doing it so much.
Puts him in a hole again for this possession.
Illegal use of the hand. 81 to the receiving,
find out what it was, too. It's very complicated at times for a rather simple game. 1st and 10. 5:53 left before halftime. Ferragamo calling timeout now. He didn't like the set he got on that defensive side.
Now, there's probably about 3 or 4 guys in the National Football League that can run better than 4.3 in the 40. Now, naturally, he's one of them right there, Ronaldo Nehemiah. Now, what he did, though, was once indoors, he ran a 4.340 over the hurdles. So that's what you're dealing with when you're a defensive back, and this man's flying down there. He was open by 6 or 7 yards. The ball was underthrown just a touch. Thomas got a finger on it, but he stayed with it for his first 6-pointer of his NFL career.
Of the 15 world marks in the hurdles, they say he still has 10 of those world mark records. Remember when he told, when Walsh asked him, though, how fast he was in the 40, and he said 4.3, and he said, well, I've got guys that can run 4.3. He says, over the hurdles.
Well, they think he's going to be a great one. Both Bill Walsh and Sam Weiss, the quarterback coach, say that in 2 or 3 years, he'll just be an absolutely great receiver in the National Football League.
Does he handle fame rather easily? Is he sort of withdrawn a little bit?
Well, he was starting out because he thought he was getting too much attention when he first came here. You know, he got a cover of Sports Illustrated. Everybody wanted to interview him, so he backed off for a while.
The old rules, you might be able to play him by rolling up and banging him. It's hard this way. 1st and 10, Ferragamo's got the play call. Straight drop back, a lot of time. Ferragamo now goes to the flat. Thomas breaks the tackle. Thomas still breaking tackles. Jarrell Thomas gets to the 17-yard line. Don't tell me he can't play in this league somewhere. Kugler finally stopped him.
It's a pretty good job by Ferragamo right here. Now, he wanted to go deep. No one was covered off the play. Everyone was covered off the play action. You see Barber, the tight end, going across. He'll look at him. He's covered. Now he goes to the 3rd guy right here, Gerald Thomas. The linebacker, Turner, comes off him. He breaks a tackle, breaks another one right here. And he is tough to get down. It's like a berserk bowling ball out there.
2nd down and 5. Goodman gets a block. Goodman over the 20 to the 26-yard line. Kent Hill making another good block on the outside. The Georgia Tech guard is not only fast but big.
Poor cornerback out there, Tim Collier, has got that guy right there, Kent Hill, 6'5", 260 pounds, bearing down on him full speed on that screen.
And you got to set up and cut it back inside, or the defensive coach will try to run you off. There's Collier, number 47.
You got to make him. You got to get enough penetration so they do cut inside. He has done that, but he's taken a couple licks for it.
1st and 10. Ferragamo going for Denard. Collier makes the tackle at about the 39-yard line. Preston Denard is a very nifty person. And Ronnie Lott was saying that when they want a real clutch catch or something, that he can almost tell by Denard's eyes and face that he feels like he's the one that should get it.
Now, Collier's a good cover man. He's got about 9.5 speed himself. Denard makes a good cut here. Collier plays it about as well as you can. Looked like he got a hand in there very close to the football, but good concentration by Denard. Excellent throw by Ferragamo. 1st down Rams.
Denard was a great signing by, I believe, Klosterman found him as a free agent out of New Mexico. Played very well. Tom Brookshire with Wayne Walker in the sunlight at Candlestick Park, and the 49ers are very much alive, thinking playoffs. Ferragamo on 1st down. He's got a lot of time. Ferragamo almost intended for Barber, and Keena Turner may have gotten a hand on it. Hey, the Rams are doing a pretty good job pass protecting. I'm not saying the 49ers are the best pass rushing team, but Ferragamo's having a lot of time to look around.
They came in with just 15 sacks, the 49ers did. The Rams had 18 on the season. But the Rams do have one of the good offensive lines in the league, particularly when it comes to protecting their quarterback. They've all got good size, they're tall, and they hang right in there.
Boy, is it hard to figure out Lehman Bennett's Atlanta team. 14-3, the Saints on top at halftime. New Orleans still thinking playoff. Detroit 17-14 over their hated rivals from Green Bay at halftime. Ferragamo handing off to Gooman. Gooman tripped up from behind. Real good hustle by Keena Turner. from behind. Gooman might have had first down yardage that time. He had to lay out and just catch the heel of Gooman's shoe. What a play. The Boilermaker.
Had great quickness and speed, and he showed you right there as he tracked Gooman down from behind after blitzing up the middle.
Big play for Los Angeles now. 2:49 on the clock that's still ticking. And a 20-7 deficit if you're from Los Angeles. That's the way you're thinking. Farmer and Drew Hill, the wide receivers. Fumble. Flags are down, and tempers flare a moment. Illegal procedure, Rams.
Illegal procedure on the Rams might be the fact that Ferragamo took his hands out from underneath the center too early. See if they call it on the quarterback.
False start, 15 offense. Third down.
Once you set your hands under, you can't move them and take them out.
Well, you sure could get a lot of defensive guys off sides if you could.
Don't tell me that Bobby Lane and Van Bronco and those guys didn't pull those hands in and out. Call is on Ferragamo. Third down and 15. Blitz is on. A lot of time. Ferragamo with the time. The flags are down. Out of bounds, incomplete, intended for Denard. And the flag was down on about the 32-yard line. Just a few feet away from Jackie Slater, who's still on the ground now. Slater's up. Third and long. A lot of protection and holding called against Los Angeles.
He declined, too.
The crowd sits back a little bit.
78 offense. Penalty is declined. It's fourth down.
Jackie Slater was the culprit, and now Misko is in there. He's been busy, but the Rams have been in this football game and still are. Don't make any mistake about that. McLemore's back. Good snap. A tremendous punt. McLemore at the 16. McLemore gets out to the 30.
It's tough to get a shot at. He's got some fine moves.
Kirk Collins down to make the tackle. Good run back, though. He's already had a 93-yarder for a touch. Wow, 20-7, San Francisco.
Nolan Cromwell of the Los Angeles Rams, a United Way volunteer who knows the importance of boys' clubs.
How was it when you were a kid?
Well, the boys' clubs have been around for more than 75 years, and what you can learn here can last you a lifetime. Learning to be part of a team, it can be more fun than being part of a gang. Responsibility, judgment, character, they're all important. And learn how to play football, that didn't hurt me either.
Did you ever do any boxing?
Sure. As a matter of fact, I'm still pretty fast. I'll give you guys a little demonstration. Hey, any of you guys want to go a few rounds with the fastest hands in the NFL?
I can always take a lesson or give one. Ain't gonna be no rematch.
As a United Way volunteer, you can learn a lot at your boys' club.
The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service of the National Football League. And, of course, there's Nolan Cromwell, the Pro Bowl safety man who was KO'd almost by Sylvester Stallone. It's one of the great spots around the country they play, huh?
Guys, the other teams will be glad to know that he's got a glass jaw. Trying to find something wrong with him.
I wonder if Sylvester Stallone's ever played football. Nolan Cromwell has it extremely well. It's been a tough year for that Rams secondary. Nehemiah, Skeets Nehemiah is to the right of your screen, the bottom. Montana to Earl Cooper. And the call of Coop goes up. He gets to the 36-yard line. Johnny Johnson tackling him there. You're always afraid, though, when the team you're playing has such quality as the Rams do.
Right now, you're going to be in Earl Cooper's helmet almost right here on this shot from ground level. As he takes it out in the flat and tries to run over Johnson. Johnson hung in there, a gain of 9. So it'll be second about 1 for the 49ers.
Bob Welch, our cameraman down there, is the one that picked that up. We've got the LA crew up here, Brooks Graham and company, and we hope you're enjoying this game. And I still think it's going to be very close. It's 20-7 right now as you're looking at Montana and the man they called the genius, Bill Walsh, a year ago. 2 minutes before halftime. It's funny how Walsh said, I'm the same guy. And Friday, a couple of times, he called the team together and said, look, are we going to concentrate? Let's do it right, or we're going to stay out here longer. They had a long practice Friday.
Well, a couple of weeks ago, he had written off all their chances for the playoffs and wasn't even considering it. All he wanted his team to do was come out and play the last 2 games of the year, the same championship caliber that they showed last year, whether they got in the playoffs or not. Now, all of a sudden, because a lot of things have happened, this game is meaningful, but he still wants that good quality performance out of his team, and that almost means more to him than getting in the playoffs itself.
Yeah,
I said almost.
Don't forget at halftime, the scores and highlights with Brendan Irv with a special feature called It's Hard to Say Goodbye, quote and end quote. The recent people that have retired, the great players, and it is hard to say goodbye to pro football. We've been successful at it. That's at halftime. Inside handoff, Earl Cooper. Looks like a first down shot. Never quite been the ball carrier that he was drafted to be, but he's a good pass receiver coming out of there.
He's got great hands, and there's nothing wrong with him effort-wise or anything like that. From the fullback position, he's just a touch slow getting to the line of scrimmage. It takes him just a while to get on track.
That was always my problem. First and 10. Ball is just over the 40. Nehemiah went in motion. Montana's going for Clark on the outside. He's open. Dwight Clark gets to the 25-yard line. Johnny Johnson forced him out. The flags are down. It's back around the pass protection area. Clark just got Rod Perry on the outside of him and just beat him all the way across the field. Tom Dooley.
Holding, 78 offense, first down.
Lindsey Mason, the gigantic Kansan at left tackle, detected.
Here it is right here now from the end zone. Mason is the left tackle. Number 78, the big guy right there. Now, Nehemiah really cleared out over here for Clark. He went down about 30 yards and took it to the post, and no one was left on the outside. Clark ran an out pattern and was there all alone.
Montana's 11 of 18. He's dancing to the left. Is it a catch and a fumble? They're going to call it incomplete. Clark headed for a sack, but not enough for possession. Leroy Irvin making a good tackle over there.
Good reaction time by Irvin. They really closed down, and a good play on Dwight Clark.
Mike Fanning putting some pressure on Montana. Montana seemed to me to be the best quarterback for keeping his feet moving and adjusting in the pocket, particularly last year, that I'd almost ever seen for a while.
I think you're right. You know, he doesn't run around madly back there. He just kind of glides 2 or 3 steps and gets another look at things downfield. Very resourceful.
Born in western Pennsylvania, and Joe Namath was his idol. Second down and 20. Jeff Moore gets the call. Gets to the 35. And Dwight Clark is having some trouble with Leroy Irvin at the 40-yard line. They're doing a little...
The game won't go by where Dwight Clark or Fred Solomon doesn't get into it with defensive backs.
Well, as a defensive back, you know, you got everything going against you. Here's a guy that, you know, he's got the whole world in his hands, and you can't even touch him except after the play's over sometimes. There's Leroy out of Kansas. Rod Perry got shaken up and left.
Number 47 you're looking at playing defense right there. Irvin also been a great performer on special teams. They returned 2 punts back in 1 game. Nolan Ryan is up on the line of scrimmage on, or Nolan Cromwell. That would be an upset if Ryan was there. Cromwell played the heck out of this, almost like a linebacker. See number 21 there? He lined up right on the line of scrimmage and played it just like an outside linebacker. Good job by number 21 Cromwell.
Yeah, you made Nolan Ryan's whole day. Do you know that?
Yeah, I probably have. Cromwell would like to have his fastball, and Ryan would like to have made that play.
We've talked before that the Rams are not just a 1-7 ball club. They've always had the big, heavy, strong, fast people. And their defense has had its problems, and that the linebackers have just been decimated with injuries. You just can't play anymore in this league without intelligent, experienced linebacking. But today they could say, you know, you think you guys are going to another Super Bowl, you're crazy. We're going to take it out on you the whole frustrating year. 49 seconds left before halftime. Coach Malavasi. I don't know what Gray was calling for then. He was motioning toward the dressing room. Not yet. Off to Jeff Moore. Moore finally hemmed in at the 41. And Jack Youngblood almost had him on the original snap. "33 seconds. It's clicking. It's down under a half a minute.
And the wide receivers and the defensive backs are still getting in after it down there, rookie, like you used to. Watch right here now. Here we go. Leroy Irvin and Dwight Clark. A little head slap by the defensive back.
It's 2 chucks. Huh? That's 3 chucks.
I don't think they're going to hurt each other in that sequence.
Inside the 5-yard zone. You can chuck them at least once legally. After that, you're on your own. Leroy Irvin's back deep. It's going to click off. No punt, no return. And San Francisco closes out the first half of the last game of a rather weird, bizarre 1982 with a 20-7 lead over the Los Angeles Rams. 30 minutes left.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh. Thank you, Payne Weber.
I like it. I love it. I'll take it. Thank you, Payne Weber.
In this highly competitive financial world, Payne Weber believes the quality of life just might depend on the quality of your investments.
When the biggest newspaper in Oklahoma bought 40 Volkswagen diesel pickups, we weren't surprised. It has a tough double-wall bed. It's the best mileage pickup in America. And no matter what the weather, these pickups crisscross Oklahoma, hauling up to half a ton of newspapers every day. So, if you ask the folks at the Daily Oklahoman about Volkswagen, they'll probably say what we've been telling you for 25 years. Volkswagen delivers.
Nothing tastes like Hawaiian punch.
You only have to taste it once. Taste of the place. Ooh, far, far away. Come on and go Hawaiian. Hawaiian punch. Sail away, sail away. Hawaiian, sail away.
1983 on CBS Sports. It's gonna be a year to remember. The Daytona 500, World Cup skiing, the World Figure Skating Championships, the NCAA Basketball Championship, the Masters, the NBA Championship, the Belmont Stakes, the Pan Am Game, the U.S. Open Tennis Championships, 1983 on CBS Sports. It's gonna be a year to remember.
Irv, because of all the scores and the highlight information we want to get to, we are not going to have time to show you that feature on the retirement of Craig Morton, Roger Worley, and also a man we want to wish the best of luck to, Ahmad Rashad, who's retiring from the Minnesota Vikings, and today he announced that he's signing with NBC Television, and all of us here at CBS wish him nothing but the best. Now, meanwhile, in the last game of any significance in the AFC, the Raiders are all over the Chargers, 20-3, and it means that if the Raiders win, this will be the matchups in the AFC next weekend. Cleveland would be out to take on the Raiders, New England at Miami, the Jets at Cincinnati, and San Diego at Pittsburgh. And Irv, you know why I was chuckling about that New England-Miami rematch.
I understand that Miami's going to have some snow imported down there and have somebody come to help clear off the ground for their field goal kicker.
They bust that guy out of jail.
I think so. They might.
Let's get everybody up to date now, because in the NFC, of course, it is all over for Tampa Bay and Chicago. The Buccaneers qualify, and the Bears are eliminated. They go to overtime, and the Bucs pull it out 26-23. The Bears' defense dominated this game early. Here is Wilson snatching the ball before it hits the turf, and then he dashes on in for a Chicago score. Doug Williams and the Bucs did not quit.
Well, I think what had happened, we went in the dressing room and we knew that they only had 20 points and they really should have had more. And we wasn't playing the type of football that we was capable of playing.
Doug's most effective weapon is tight end Jimmy Giles, who can beat you deep, much like a wide receiver. All Doug has to do is get him isolated one-on-one. Then after that, they just turned it over to Bill Capice, and he won it in overtime.
And this one was just a short one. Doug ran one play to the middle and got me set up, and I just went there, kept my head down, and followed through, and then it was over with.
And here it is, the kick that put Tampa Bay back into the playoffs, a 43-yarder by Capice.
I feel great. We're the Cardiac Kids.
And the Cardiac Kids qualify for the playoffs. San Francisco can have the last spot in the NFC, of course, if they hold on and beat the Rams this afternoon. Couple of scores in the AFC, which determined a home field advantage. The Jets, as you can see, were blown away by the Chiefs. Meanwhile, the defending AFC champions, Cincinnati Bengals, well, they downed Houston 35-27, and that means regardless of the outcome of that Raider-Charger game, the Jets have to go into Cincinnati now to play the Bengals. Kenny Anderson had a marvelous afternoon. At one point, he completed 20 straight passes, breaking Steve DeBerg's NFL record down there, and he wound up 27 of 31 for 323 yards and a pair of touchdowns. And the Giants and the Eagles, as usual, they went right down to the conclusion of this one, 26-24. And Ray Perkins told us what he told the Giants prior to his last game.
I tried to impress on them that to play the game for themselves, play it one more time. We've gone about it during the week in our preparation to just let everything hang out, have some fun, and try to concentrate on playing as hard as we could and let things happen what would happen.
These two plays by quarterback Scott Bruner kept the Giants in the game. Ernest Gray with marvelous extension for 6, and then it was Bruner the runner. He is not noted for his scrambling ability, but he ran for daylight and 6 more in this sequence. Philadelphia came back, however, and Ron Jaworski hit his tight end, John Spagnola. Spagnola scored. Then the Giants turned it over to Joe Dinello.
I was thankful it was a short field goal, so if there was any kind of a mistake that I had made, it wouldn't be that drastic on a shorter field goal. So we all wanted to see him go out on a winning note and know that we all contributed, everybody from the trainers on up to the coaches.
Someone informed me yesterday that every Giant head coach had gone out his last game as a loser. I'm happy that I'm going out as a winner as far as going off on a winning note on the last game.
Ray, of course, now heads for Tuscaloosa, and he'll replace the legend Bear Bryant as the coach at Alabama. As they pull that one out, the Giants have beaten the Eagles now 4 straight times. And during the game, John Madden, our very own John Madden, predicted that Dick Vermeil would step down as coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. Irv, what do you think about that? John said that he had no inside sources. He just had a feeling that Vermeil might walk away. You're close to the Eagles.
I would not be surprised to see him leave, Brent, but I don't have anything to back that up. I know that he and Leonard Toe, since the strike broke out this year, have had differences of opinion on how the club ought to be run.
Okay. Here is the one statistic that the National Football League would dearly love to be without this afternoon. The Pittsburgh Steelers routed Cleveland 37-21, but the Browns still qualify for the playoffs at 4-5. The first sub-500 team ever to reach the National Football League playoffs. And New England, of course, made it possible by beating Buffalo 30-19. All I heard was dissension up in New England, and Ron Meyer was so hard to get along with. Hey, this guy's the coach of the year in the AFC.
Well, he did a good job today. Ferguson hitting Jerry Butler for Buffalo early in the game, and Buffalo took an early lead. And Ron Meyer really had a lot of problems trying to get his club together to get together for this one big effort, and he did it. Steve Grogan hitting number 88, Morris Bradshaw, on one touchdown pass, and he comes back again on a play-action fake, this time to number 80, Don Hasselback for a score, and the New England Patriots upset the Bills.
And go down to Miami for that rematch, with or without the Bulldozer, and don't be surprised if Chuck Knox moves on. Meanwhile, Miami beats Baltimore easily, 34-7. It means that is the worst record ever for the Baltimore Colts. They are winless, one tie against Green Bay under their new coach, Frank Cush. And the NFL Today continues on CBS after these messages from your local stations.
Monday on CBS, a visiting UN team turns the MASH camp upside down.
My complaints are falling on deaf feet.
And Newhart zips onto the ski slopes where disaster lurks.
When you get to the bottom of the hill, how do you actually stop?
Then Suzanne Summers reports for duty overseas, singing and dancing with her special guest, Jonathan Winters, the Pointer Sisters, the exciting Susan Anton, Suzanne Summers, and 10,000 GIs following MASH and Newhart. Great moments Monday.
This is CBS.
Now, to recognize an individual whose outstanding sales record comes from the multiplicity of uses he has found for Watts. Not just to sell, not just to service, but to get closer to customers, even using Watts for qualifying prospects. I am proud to present our Salesman of the Year, Wendell Metcalf.
Metcalf? Thank you, Mr. Anderson.
Watts, it's another way to get things done today.
I will try to...
Morning.
Isn't that the Jack-in-the-Box man?
Pet, is it time for my crescent breakfast? Almost. But first, a comparison. Do the other guys have a buttery flake croissant? Are you kidding? And do they make it 4 ways, like Jack-in-the-Box does, with a fresh egg, cheeses, and your choice of ham, bacon, or sausage?
No way. Boy, how could the other guys ever beat this?
They'd have to get up pretty early in the morning.
4 crescent breakfast sandwiches from Jack in the Box. There's no comparison.
Once upon a time, there was a very unhappy mime. He forgot how devastating dry, cold winter can be on plants. Even in winter, plants need water. He also forgot to wrap exposed pipes around his home, so they froze and burst and there was water everywhere. He couldn't stop the running water because he didn't know where the private cutoff was to his home water system, so his home was flooded. Mr. Mime could have prevented all this, and so can you. Keep your outside plants watered. Wrap all exposed pipes and faucets, and if you have an emergency, call the Dallas Water Utilities. They'll be glad to help you.
Channel 4, KDFW-TV, Dallas-Fort Worth.
No question about the top seed in the NFC. The Washington Redskins wind up with an 8-1 record as they shut out a good St. Louis Cardinal team, 28-0. But that is a tough win, Irv, because the Redskins have lost wide receiver Art Monk with a broken foot.
Yeah, it was really an unfortunate loss for them because he's a kind of a receiver who commands double coverage. And that's why Charlie Brown's been so active this year. So, you know, it was a tough loss for the Redskins.
Irv, we have a handful of scores still working. Let me get everybody up to date with those right now before you go back to the second half. 14-6 New Orleans over Atlanta in that game. I think we've got a baseball game going on out in Seattle right now. Let's check the Seahawks score against Denver. Still 3-2 there, I think, in about the 7th inning there. Meanwhile, Green Bay and Detroit. This figured to be the best late game we had today, and it's turning out that way. This is going to be some Indy. Watch Gary Danielson go to David Hill. Hill, of course, the brother of Jim Hill, the fine sportscaster at KNXT in Los Angeles. And Lynn Dickey back here to his favorite weapon, James Lofton. He's got number 80 there for a touchdown, and Bart Starr says, that's it, come on, come on. Hey, Alvin Hall is some return man. He's got this one at the 6-yard line, and he's going to come all the way now to the Packer 25-yard line. This is a 69-yard return, and of course, it was only a week ago that Hall was able to bust one from Monty Clark. And after that, Danielson was able to hit Leonard Thompson. Irv, I'll tell you, Thompson's been on a tear. Ever since he was fined $1,000, he's been one of the best receivers in the league.
Ever since that Thanksgiving Day incident he had, he's come around and been having an outstanding season.
We have an update on the Chargers. I guess we counted them out too quickly. Back they come. They're on the board now, 2010. Remember, this is very important because the Chargers, if they lose it, have to go on the road into Pittsburgh. If they can pull it out, they'll stay home next week. The Raiders, of course, will be home to play Cleveland, and they want that win badly. And, of course, finally, the game that you are watching here, 27, all the 49ers have to do to qualify for the NFC Super Bowl tournament. Hold on, beat the Rams. They ought to be able to do that. The NFL Today will continue on CBS in just a moment.
Time for a tune-up.
Tune-up?
Want to make sure we aren't burning up money by checking points, plugs, oil.
Insurance?
Insurance.
Insurance?
Allstate update. Auto insurance tune-up.
Allstate can help you make sure you're getting your money's worth. Just drop off your policy at Sears or any Allstate office. We'll check it out. Coverage limits, price, deductibles. Then you decide.
You might drive out with a better value. Now that's a tune-up.
Put yourself in good hands.
The Hilton's right across the street.
Let's meet back at the Hilton at 8. Meet you at the Hilton at half. I'm over at the Hilton. Come over.
5 minutes to get to the Hilton.
I'm at the Hilton.
Let's walk over to the Hilton. I'll meet you later at the Hilton.
You know, the Hilton's got the best steak in town.
See you at the Hilton.
And you can reach me at the Hilton. Just call me at the Hilton, and we'll get down to your business right away.
When American business hits the road, American business stops at Hilton. America's business address.
Candlestick Park, Tom Brookshire with Wayne Walker. It's 20-7 early in the first quarter. A 93-yard punt return by Dana McLemore, the rookie from Hawaii. Put the 49ers on top. The Rams came back with Tyler's short touchdown pass. Then Nehemiah scored. Wilson scored, and it's 20-7. And the hometown crowd sold out 61,250. Let them know it. Wayne, what's your impression after 30 minutes?
Still a football game right here, Tommy, 20-7, and if you want to look back at anything, you can look back at that extra point right now. The Rams can strike quick. They did that last week against the Bears. They were behind in that ball game by a couple of touchdowns, came back at the end, so that extra point could loom big. I don't think Ferragamo and his crew are done.
They were trailing the Bears 20-7, as you said a week ago. Malavasi and his staff have been in there with them at halftime. They have quality people. And Jack Snow is now the receiver coach, and Preston Denard and young Farmer, who's been rather quiet, by the way, so far, are good receivers. And the one thing you can't do as the champion is to let up or worry about next week. You got to win it all out.
Montana was off to a bit of a shaky start. He seems to be in stride right now, so I'll tell you, this defensive sequence coming up right now for Los Angeles is extremely important. If they can get the 49ers stopped in this one, get the ball back for their offense, they'll be in pretty good shape. If the 49ers take it down and score, then I think from then on it'll probably be all San Francisco.
Okay, we're ready to go. The crowd is ready to go. Ferragamo 11 of 20, 77 yards. Joe Montana 11 of 20 for 133. 2 TDs and the 1 interception. But a couple of big penalties really were in favor, or worked at least in San Francisco's favor in that first half. One whole drive was to the penalty accumulation by the Rams, and that's what happens when you're 1-7. You can get a little bit ragged. You get up in the morning, you got to get a quick cup of coffee, or you kick your own dog or something awful. Here we go. Amos Lawrence is back to receive, and Lansford, of course, is going to kick. He's standing on the 30, will go to the 35. Dana McLemore is back, too. Crowd's getting back in their seats here. Here goes the second half. It's a high kick. Lawrence at the 1. Lawrence carrying the ball rather wildly. Gets to the 24-yard line. And 62,000 people were inhaling because he has a tendency to fumble anyway. The numbers, total yardage 194, 134. Turnovers, just the one by the interception of Montana's aerial. Time of possession. Tell you, a special team run back of a punt, a 93-yarder is quite a shot in the arm for a football team. 1st and 10, the ball is on the 25-yard line, call it. It's a drive play. Montana going for, Charlie Young tries to make a one-handed catch, almost does, and Andrews knocked him out from under it. Some wild games around the league today, weren't there? The Eagles lose in the last few seconds. Dick Vermeil's brother, Al Vermeil, is the strength coach for this San Francisco team you're watching right here.
Here's a touchdown. Joe Montana to Ronaldo Nehemiah in the first half, which put the Niners out in front 20-7. It was tipped, and he stayed with it for the score.
2nd down and 10. Montana moving. Oh, what a good play. Gets it off to Francis. Francis gets the first down. Is really collared by Mike Riley. What a move by Joe Montana.
Well, we talked about his resourcefulness and the fact that he'll move around in a pocket. He can get out of so much trouble, and it's so tough on a defense. At that time, he throws better on the run, I think, than any quarterback in the National Football League. I would say that without question. That time he threw, his legs were crossed, and he was falling backwards and still got it on the money to Russ Francis.
A tight spiral. From the hip, 1st and 10, out on the 38-yard line. Rams are in that 4-man line of theirs. Montana's got time. Overthrows. Clark. It's intercepted and dropped. Rod Perry had it and lost it.
When things aren't going your way, Montana overthrew Dwight Clark. The ball was tipped by Clark up in the air, and perhaps up in the air for too long. Here's Clark. We run a turn in right here. Montana will get it to him, but high. Rod Perry had all kinds of time. In fact, he probably peeked around a little bit. Yes, he was, looking downfield to see how much room he had and where he was going to go, and didn't stay with the football.
George Andrews, the linebacker, really buried Clark there when he jumped up. The moment of truth. 2nd down and 10. Handoff to Jeff Moore. Moore to about the 40. I'll tell you, there's beginning to be some real heavy hitting now, and it's getting just cool enough. It's cooled off a little bit. The sun's gone for the most part. Now everybody begins to get a head of steam up. You'll see some rocking and socking now. 3rd down and 8 to go.
Entries are starting to mount up on the Niners. John Ayers is out for the second half. That's Walt Downing, who's been there at guard for him.
Got the nickel defense in now. Anticipating pass. 2 for 5 so far on 3rd down. San Francisco. Nehemiah doesn't get off the line. Cody Jones chases Montana. Montana gets Clark. It's not going to be enough for a first. Andrews in there on that tackle. And Pat Thomas in on the tackle. And Cody Jones really went after Joe Montana and flushed him out.
Jones flushed him out. Youngblood made the hit on him just as he threw, but how does he get it to Dwight Clark?
I don't know. And Clark really does draw a lot of people that don't like him at all. Here's Miller. Jimmy Miller, the Mississippi gambler here. Leroy Irvin. Miller will try to kick it away, probably. He kicks it to the left side. Irvin's going to get a handle on it at the 16. Almost got back to the sideline. And Keena Turner stopped it. A lot of action just out over the 22. Leroy Irvin gets. Tempo is picking up. 12:16 left in the 3rd period. San Francisco 20-7.
Audi, BMW, Mercedes, the old world's finest sports sedans. Now, the American alternative. The new front-wheel drive Dodge 600 ES. 50 automotive engineers compared it to a Mercedes 300D. They preferred Dodge 38-12 for overall driving superiority. With great mileage and a 5-year or 50,000-mile protection plan, Dodge 600 ES is the affordable American alternative.
America's driving machine.
When a businessman is waking up in, say, Los Angeles, his main office in New York is already well into its day. And very often there's information the main office would like men such as this to have the moment they come in. Well, now, through a modern computer innovation called telemail, they can send them that information and have them punch it right up the minute they arrive.
Gee.
No, GTE.
Brookshire with Wayne Walker. Happiness is 5 in a row. Welcome us, but what are they talking about? All the way to the Super Bowl again, huh?
I think so, with the win over Kansas City last week for the 49ers and a win here. They need 3 more, and they'd be there.
There's one of their head guys right there. Looks like St. Nick's been on a week and a half binge.
Looks like he had your hat on from New Year's.
He's in better shape than I am. 1st and 10 for Ferragamo and the Rams. Going deep. He's got a man wide open. A great diving catch by Farmer. George Farmer, the rookie from Southern University, made some catch, and he ran right by Ronnie Lott on the corner.
Farmer can fly. He lit him up last week in Chicago with 9 catches for 183 yards. Working against Lott right here. Nothing fancy right here, just a streak pattern. He runs about a 4.5, so that'll get Lott by a shade. And he got down on his knees, made an adjustment to that ball, and made a good catch.
Good catch. Ferragamo deciding to put some numbers on the board. If they're going to go down, they're going to go down firing. That was last week. Farmer, first big catch of this week. Toss. Back to Wendell Tyler. Tyler's hit hard, spins and gets to the 33-yard line.
Good team defense that time by the Niners. Jeff Stover, the right defensive end, strung it out. Willie Harper fell back and made the tackle. The Niners are shorthanded now on defense. Stover's going to be in there a lot because Fred Dean, injured with a thigh, may not play in the second half. Another defensive end, Mike Clark, injured shoulder, may not play in the second half. So they're getting shorthanded on defense.
And Jim Ringo, in charge of that Ram offensive line, will go after the young guy, 72, huh? Here's the play-action pass. The blitz is on. Keena Turner came on the blitz. And Ferragamo really almost wasted that one. Trying to get it to Barber, I believe.
Good pressure up the middle by Keena Turner, the blitzing linebacker that time. Almost tipped that ball. It was right in Ferragamo's face.
Good time to come with the blitz right in his face, huh?
We talked to him on Friday. Brookie, you were impressed with number 58, Keena Turner?
Those linebackers are all so quiet, and they seem so nice when you're talking to them. You go out on the field with them, they wrap you across the side of the head. But
Real
you're right.
nice kid. He's got his brother out here living with him while his brother goes to college.
A big 3rd down play. If the Rams are going to get back in it, the time is now. Ferragamo, quick screen into Goodman in the flat. He's tackled by Keena Turner.
Pretty good play.
A little extra action as the Rams go after Turner, but a good reaction play by number 58.
I hated that play more than any in my 15-year career as an outside linebacker, Brookie. You got to drop and try to help your defensive backs out. And then there you go on your drop. Then they dump it out here to a back with linemen out in front. You're supposed to come up and make the tackle, and you just don't do it any better than that.
Goodman might have read that block wrong. He might have should have gone inside.
Goodman has cut it in twice on 2 times previous to this. Thought he'd cross him up by going outside, but Turner had great position and made the play.
And the Rams are going for it on 4th down and 6. Ferragamo. Wendell Tyler makes the catch. He may be short of the 1st down. Now he has the 1st down. Was he down? He made a spin after being hit by Collier, and I believe Reynolds too. A low center of gravity saved Wendell Tyler's life.
Well, we said just in the first half that the 49ers were talking about the catch he made against them in the first game down in Anaheim for a touchdown. This one may be every bit as good because he took some contact on this one right here. The 2 49ers knocked themselves off him. He stayed up. Look at that. He got a hand down and kept his knee off the ground and stayed up. What a great athlete.
He can get his amateur standing back. He can go in the Olympics as a gymnast. 1st and 10. Ferragamo. To Gooman. The slip screen. Gooman cuts inside this time. A A missed tackle. Goodman is to the 12-yard line. The slip screen to the right side. Collier having to make this tackle.
3 times they ran it to the left. This is the first time they've run it to that side. Goodman again cutting it in. If you've been with us all day, you've seen this play 4 times. Goodman's in the backfield, number 44. He's out immediately. The 2 linemen go out. They get a block on the cornerback lot right here. Goodman cuts it up inside. Horn is 55. He misses a tackle, and Goodman runs right through another one.
The Rams are knocking in the 3rd period a lot of time. And don't forget the missed extra point. Ferragamo to Tyler. Wendell Tyler inside the 5-yard line in a hurry.
Ricky, you know, a lot of times a guy like Tyler, 26, when he made that play out in the flat and taking that hit from those 2 guys, kept his hand down and stayed up, the other 10 guys on the field say, that guy's giving us that kind of effort. We all got to start pulling up a little bit more. And you can tell on this drive they have. Their offensive line right now is controlling the game as well as they have through the first 2 quarters. Better.
You brought up a good point that playing their last game on the road might make them even play with more ferocity.
It sounds heroic, but they're just like a bunch of soldiers in here with an enemy crowd.
The handoff to Tyler. Tyler's hit. Tyler drives for the end zone, doesn't make it. Good stand by the 49ers. Williamson there first. And Lott.
Williamson and Hicks make the catch.
Here comes Dean. I'm sorry, Brooke, to interrupt you, but Fred Dean is limping on the field. He's got a thigh. Goal yardage, short yardage situation. They need him in there.
They got the first down, not the touchdown. Tyler's second effort. Can't be over 192 pounds. Big on the left side. He's strong in that hard area. Inside, Tyler. He's close. Remember the goal line stand against Cincinnati. The 49ers haven't had a goal line stand since early in preseason against San Diego. This would be a time for it.
The front guys just go down, grab grass. They want the linebackers to clean up. Horn, number 55, came over and made the initial contact and just kept Tyler out of the end zone.
The crowd is calling for their defense. Ferragamo to Barber. He's not there. What a play by Keena Turner.
That's just like the play that Dan Buns made in the Super Bowl last year on the 1-yard line.
The crowd is standing and cheering. It was first and goal from the 1.
Play action. Ferragamo wanted to go right. That was Hubbard. He had to come back over here to the left side to Barber. His tight end slipping out. And Turner, the young linebacker, right there on top of it.
It is 3rd and goal from the 1. Completed pass and no gain. How many times have you seen that in pro football? Not too many times. The 49ers called a timeout.
From the defensive viewpoint right here, Ferragamo. Good adjustment by him, or he could have been in trouble back there in the pocket. He went from one side to the other. Turner over on Barber all the way. And he's tough to wrestle down, but Lott shows up to help.
And Barber is really a good inside the 5-yard tight end, too. A big gasp right here for Los Angeles. 6:09 left in the 3rd. 20-7 San Francisco, but now it's pillar to post.
No second shots, Wallace. No second shots.
I'm used to him yelling,
Wallace, you got to keep him out of there.
but not at me.
Punch him out. Punch him out.
The best never comes easy. That's why there's nothing else like it. Budweiser Light.
Bring out your best. Bring out your best. Budweiser Light. Bring out your best. Budweiser Light.
The best.
Nice game.
You found it in yourself, and now you found it in the beer you drink.
That's the distance the Rams need to really climb back into this ball game. Malavasi's team is pulling out all the stops. You're loading up, boy. You're shooting the bolt down here. If the Rams don't score now, they might say, well, let's save ourselves for next year. This is a very, very large third down play.
The Rams so far, 1 of 8 third down conversions.
Goodman and Tyler. Tyler, touchdown, Los Angeles. Wendell Tyler just waded through people up to his knees. His 43rd lifetime Los Angeles touchdown. It was first and goal, second goal to complete a pass, and finally they got it in from third.
Number 62, Bill Bain, right there. He's in at tight end for some added strength and weight. Tyler in behind him, and Irv Pankey right there on the left-hand side. And it's getting close here at Candlestick.
Lansford with 1 foot nude. It's going to kick. Cromwell's the holder. The high snap. It's a good kick, though. A little bit of a high snap handled by Cromwell. Dooley makes it official. We've got 6:06 left. The 49ers missed one field goal, 1 extra point. And the Rams are getting close.
End of shift, the new day's dawning. Partner's late, but the coffee's warming. Here's the way you share your morning. Maxwell House and you get that job started the last drop feeling. With Maxwell House, only Maxwell House gives you good to the last drop feeling. Maxwell House.
Why do 100,000-mile flyers choose United?
Many of the answers are here on United's remarkable new 767. Over 100 computers help monitor systems, from air conditioning to weather over the route ahead. There's more overhead storage. Twin aisles and roomier coach seats make it more comfortable. As a director of United, I think the 767 is good business. It's a business flyer. You'll think so, too.
People who fly for a living fly United's friendly skies.
Wednesday, it's Susan St. James' anniversary. But which one is the lucky guy?
I think I want Red Butler.
I Take These Men, a world premiere Wednesday.
The man behind those numbers is Wendell Tyler. And there have been some great people carry the football in Los Angeles through the years. The Elroy Hirsch's and the Ronnie Wallers and Ellison, and just some great players. But this guy is one of them. Here's the kick. Lansford kicking off. Amos Lawrence and Dana McLemore. McLemore at the 17. McLemore up over the 30-yard line. Lansford's short kick. All right, let's go to New York City now, where Brent Musburger has an update.
Rookie, it's going on all over the place. Green Bay is about to fumble in this sequence, recover in the end zone, and they have jumped ahead of Detroit as a result of it. That's not all. San Diego has just tied the Raiders at 20. Let's go back to Tom.
High fives everywhere around the league. It's been a crazy last day. Montana, 2-step drop. Oh, almost caught. Good defense by Pat Thomas, and Clark still almost caught it. They're talking about it.
Excellent defense that time by number 27, Pat Thomas. Montana that time did what he doesn't normally do. He played stare down with Clark. He didn't look anywhere else. Look at the battle going on here. Thomas stay right with him and then reach across with that one hand and get it on the ball and just bat it away.
Thomas at 5'9", Clark at 6'3". Good job. It's second down. And 10. Montana throwing again. The blitz is on. Jeff Moore has it. They're going to call him down. They said Riley made the tackle. Montana can't believe it.
Number 57 is Riley on the outside. Mike Riley, the rookie from Oklahoma. Randy Cross out there with him, trying to block him from behind. He hangs in and does a pretty good job. And I don't know whether that knee was down or not, but it was on him.
Pretty close.
Yes.
Moore and Cooper in the backfield. Cooper's in motion. Montana's going to Jeff Moore at the 30. The trailing back gets it to the 40-yard line. And Leroy Irvin and he lock horns head-to-head.
Moore's a good receiver coming out of the backfield. He had 3 touchdowns against the Rams in the first game down in Anaheim. That was a real shootout.
Now what do you call? Do you punt the ball or do you go for it?
Oh, you got to punt it.
4th and a yard. Jim Miller will come in. You got to punt it. There's Bill Walsh. He always is the master of that sidelines. Here's Jimmy Miller, who just recently going with a foot on that foot, shoe on that foot, end over end. Irvin fumbles the ball, recovered by San Francisco. No, Los Angeles came up with it. That would have not been a fumble. That would have been a muff, which means he did not have control of it. But you could lose possession anyway. Keena Turner.
He gets around on the field, doesn't he?
He made the first 3 defensive plays of the game, didn't he, in a row?
Dangerous catch right here, coming full speed upfield by Leroy Irvin. He loses the handle, and Turner's right there. Looked like he had a good shot at it. Almost looks like he had a cradle, and it went out between his legs.
And Leroy Irvin recovered his own muff. Wendell Tyler dropped at the 36-yard line. What a play by Kugler.
Pete Kugler, the nose tackle, Brookie, started out the season as a defensive end, and then in training camp they moved him to offensive guard. He's a real bright, intelligent guy, but his head was spinning because he didn't know where he was going to play. He came back at defensive end, and then when John Hardy had problems playing the nose, they moved Kugler in, and he's got the starting job now.
Why would you want to play nose tackle, though?
You got to be a different breed, don't you?
It's wild in there. 2nd down and 8. Toss back to Gooman. Gooman gets almost to the marker. Stover making the tackle. It's short of the first down. Gooman is a good cutback runner.
Talk about what a good defense will do. You see it right there. You know, last year when the 49ers went to the Super Bowl, they only scored 2 more touchdowns than they did the year before. It was the defense that made the difference for them.
3rd down and 2. Handoff to Thomas. He's still on his feet. The flags are down. There's a flag down. But Jarrell Thomas gets to the 45-yard line. Dwight Hicks shoves him out. Gonna be holding against the Rams. Hey, Jarrell Thomas is like a John Deere.
He went to college right down the road from here, San Jose State. He hasn't played much this year, and he's got a lot of friends up here in the Bay Area that are at the stadium today watching on local television because the game is a sellout, and he wants to perform.
Holding, offense, 3rd down.
Just the whole offense. The Rams now have acquired 8 penalties for 78 yards. Scores. Denver leading Seattle 9-6 in the 4th period. Ferragamo back to throw. Being rushed, gets away. Ferragamo throws it, overthrows. Number 87. Drew Hill was really hit, and the 49ers take advantage.
Ferragamo, an excellent job that time, avoiding the sack. But with fourth down, or rather third down and 11 yards to go, he really had too far to run to pick up the first down. Had to throw it, and there really wasn't much downfield.
3:18 left in the third period. The Rams do have a fake punt, but this would not be the time to pull it out. Maybe would at that. No, Misco kicks it. It's not a very good kick. The 31-yard line. Dwight Hicks. Hicks at the 40. Hicks at the 44-yard line, and the flags are down. They might have grabbed his face mask. Kirk Collins was hot in pursuit of Dwight Hicks. Dooley looked like he was almost embarrassed to have to call it. See the expression on Jack Youngblood's face?
Face mask, 42 kicking team, first down.
Here's the penalty as Hicks gets to the outside. Breaks the containment, heading for the sideline right here. He's straight-armed, and there's the grab. Inadvertent, but it's a penalty.
First down for the 49ers. Inside handoff, Jeff Moore. Not much. Under 3 minutes left in the third period. 20-14. Ray Malavasi. Hiding all those things that you're thinking about. He hasn't fumbled or dropped a pass yet this year. New Orleans 21, Atlanta 6 in the fourth period. 24-20, Green Bay over Detroit in the third period. That one can't be over yet. Montana all the way across, knocked away.
Thomas again.
Pat Thomas knocks it away from Mike Wilson. He came all the way through the formation, and Thomas stayed right with him.
Second excellent play he's made in this half on passes. His hands on two of them. Mike Wilson, who scored earlier in this ball game, he's big enough to put in at weak side tight end where he is right here. Along with Clark, he comes in motion across the middle. Thomas trailing him, and you just don't play it any better than that defensively.
Third down and 8. Montana throwing every play. Overthrows Jeff Moore. Johnson thinks he has an interception. The Longhorn gave it his best shot. Not a very good offensive series for Joe Montana. A good defensive series for the Rams. It's 20-14. Don't forget. There's Leroy Irvin. If there's any guy you don't want to have the ball in the hands of, it's the punt return.